Hello and welcome to the first day of summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. Today is June 21st. And you know, it's just a wonderful, muggy, oppressive 103 degrees here in San Antonio, Texas, and I am not prepared. Here's the thing, I have gotten really into sort of seasonal refreshes, but the problem with where I live is that there's not a whole lot of seasons. It is what feels like summer for about 10 months of the year, and when it's actually summer, it just feels like you are walking around in an inferno. So compared to the rest of the year, this is the time that I actually have to change my routine based off of what my surroundings dictate. I have had a working theory that's like, I haven't done any actual research or analysis on this, it's just personal anecdote. So strap in. I know a lot of people's moods and mental health is affected by the seasons, namely winter though. Oftentimes it's when you're not seeing the sun as much, but here, for me, that season tends to be summer. I can almost instantly tell when my mood has shifted because it's just too hot now. It's too hot to go outside on walks to clear your brain. I can barely stand having to take the dogs outside when they desperately need it and then they're panting the whole time. It is just too fucking hot. And so that means that if I want to get any amount of like sunlight that's not going to absolutely destroy my skin or my eyes or my future, I have to do it at very specific times. Like super early in the morning or super late at night, and also by then it's still so humid here that it feels like you're breathing in a cloud instead of just air. I don't mean to be a downer though, because it is very pretty this time of year. The flowers are blooming, which is wonderful. That feels like creativity has really sprung in a lot of ways. The pool is getting used all the time, and there's just something about diving into like cold water while it's hot outside that like cannot be mimicked in anything else. There's some great things about summer. Thankfully, I'm not the only one who feels some type of way about it. But today's video is going to be all about shifting my routine. This is both an aspirational summer routine vlog and a sort of practical, the struggles along the way to make that a reality. Yes. But since we're already on our string of about 100 days of 100+ degree weather, this does mean that I have to get started very early. Thankfully, my very adorable dogs are happy to help me out with this because they do want to get up and get to their walk. Because if they don't get their walk at a certain time, it is also dangerous for them to go outside. Don't want our little pepperonis to overheat. And so they like to wake me up by laying completely across me, even, you know, 65-pound German Shepherd Buffy. Now, on a good day, in theory, in this perfect summer routine, this would happen between like 6 and 6:30 a.m. because it is getting light here at that time, so it's not like dangerous to go outside or anything. The danger would more so be a snake that I might not see until too late. But sometimes this doesn't happen until 8 or 9. So then we'd be bumping up on what time I could get some exercise in, and also make sure to lather myself in either sunscreen or bug spray, because the other shitty part about summer, just be ragging on summer this whole time? My god, that's not what this is, I promise. The other terrible thing about summer is the mosquitoes, and they fucking love me. So I found this nice bug spray that like doesn't feel like it's sitting on you, unless of course you accidentally spray yourself in the eye. I don't advise. Right now my exercise in the morning has just been trying to clean up our yard. I again wanted to just like let the earth do what it was gonna do. I think for a little bit we were kind of struggling since we moved into this house to figure out what this land wanted to do, and we're all about letting the Texas plants kind of grow and thrive, and that way you're not using up as much water either. But that also means that there are plenty of stickers and plenty of poisonous plants, both of which, you know, I got very curious dogs, and I have been having to pick just a handful of stickers off of them each day. So it was time to do some corralling of the wilderness that we've grown. And I can really only stand to do this for about 45 minutes before I'm drenched in sweat and already feeling the heat. So after I come back in and shower and just get all of that sunscreen, bug spray, sweat, various plants that might have stuck to any or all 3 of those things. And by the time I then do my skincare routine, because of course in summer, you know, it's a little bit, even though it's so humid here, because of the heat, it does really feel sort of drying. Need some more lotion, but also need to put that sunscreen on. I am lathered each day. Oh my god, what is that? What is her name from Doctor Who? moisturize me. That's what I feel like. And so if I am in my office chair before 9 a.m., I consider that such a huge win. Like, that is my goal, having done all of those things. But right now in the process of, I will admit that I either do all of those things and I'm not in my chair until like 9:30, or I don't do all of those things and then I can be in my chair before 9. So eventually I will have this perfected. Of my own accord, when it is not so super hot, what I really do is kind of just roll out of bed and start writing. Something about just having slept and then like my brain is just fresh, you know, it is ready to create. But I have found that listening to audiobooks and listening to podcasts, both while I'm walking the dogs or working out or cleaning the backyard or whatever, has really helped keep me in that sort of I'm still filling up the well zone. I haven't given myself time to think too hard about like what's to come in the day or to fret, which I find important for the like creating process. Are you gonna write for me? No. Okay, it's finally time to write. So for the next like 10 weeks or so, or maybe even all of summer, my focus is going to be on finishing A Closet Full of Cauldrons and finishing Project Death. Today specifically though, I'm going to go back to chapter 1 of A Closet Full of Cauldrons and try and rewrite the chapter until I get that like settled feeling, I guess. The problem I'm having is I can tell it's just not right yet, and there's something unique about the first chapter where you just really want to nail it, and it often feels like it's the hardest one to nail. I just haven't done it yet, and it would feel better in my little Roger heart if I could get that done before I fully move into the B story. So I do have a good chunk of it done that I got during the 24-hour novel challenge, but that first chapter still eluding me. Actually, you can see it's really just the first scene of the first chapter and then the first scene of the second chapter, and then all the way through here is pretty solid. There will still need to be little changes amongst those because some of them were written at 1 a.m. off of little to no sleep after writing for 18 hours. So, but I feel good about them. With the aid of my timeline, you know, I feel really good. Also slated for this morning is a Patreon post that I need to complete about my upcoming long form experiment. So those are the two main objectives. I do have a bunch of like little small things, as you do, but early morning brain, kind of early morning brain, 10 a.m. brain. I really don't even want to think about the small things. I just want to dive into the writing. So that's what we're gonna do. And you know, I had figured there could be no better mug for today's project. We're getting somewhere. 419 words. Just about an hour later, my coffee is finally all gone. I did have a random phone call, but I don't know that that really held me back much. I do feel much better about this. I had been struggling before because the first one felt like unnecessarily info dumpy, and I just started reading Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, which had a pretty great opening. Vera Wong Juju, age 60, is a pig, but really she should have been born a rooster. We are, of course, referring to Chinese horoscopes. Vera Wong is a human woman. Thank you very much. But roosters have nothing on her. Every morning, exactly 4:30, Vera's eyelids snap open like roller shades shooting up. And I was like, aha, yes. I need to start with something like a little bit wittier, something that fits the vibe of the story, loop it in. I feel better. Admittedly, it's what I was trying to do the first time, but it just was not working. And for the afternoon, we basically have two options based off of earlier in the day. The first is a day like today, where I have slept super well, I already got my workout in, and I am feeling good. In that case, I'll have a late lunch where I've been trying to work in a veggie or like new to me recipe and relax with some trash TV. Then I'll make myself a second cappuccino and get to work. Today, since it's a Monday, I'm scripting videos and organizing all my YouTube stuff. I actually start a long form, like a 10-week long experiment this week, but not until Tuesday. And so Monday is literally just trying to get all of these videos done, or at least done enough so that throughout the rest of the week, it ought to be like smooth sailing. Monday afternoons are also currently like my trying to level up my skills. I am trying a new thing where like I challenge myself to make a different kind of thumbnail for each of my videos just to see if I like it better, if like click-through rate is better or whatever. Like it's just for fun. You do YouTube as long as I have at this point now, you gotta like keep it interesting. And I was like, you know what? Let's try something new. But I have now scripted out this video in full as much as I can. It is just about 4 p.m., which normally is around my stopping time, 4 to 5, but I am feeling like I can go a little bit longer. So we're gonna script another one. Plus, like, I haven't finished my cappuccino yet. This is what my month plan currently looks like, but you can see at the end of the month is where I just put all the ideas I had that I like haven't gotten anywhere close to. So let's see, I think I need to check out where I'm at with these two. Let's do this one. Or conversely, I have a day like today where I did go on a walk this morning. I've been working for about 2 hours. I edited 2,292 words, but I slept horribly. I have a little bit of a headache and I just want to not do this. So what we're gonna do instead is I'm going to take an early break and run some errands. I have a couple books that I have to pick up from the library. And of course, if you're at the library, you can't help but stroll around. Your mood must be lifted by being at the library, which is what I need. I think also taking a bit of an eye break is really gonna help. I need to pick up some milk so that we have enough for our afternoon cappuccinos. And I think what I'm gonna do is actually do some yoga. It's something I'm trying to integrate every day into my routine, but ultimately like only really gets integrated when I feel like I need it and nothing else is working. Like I already cleaned up my space today. I don't have to be back at my desk until 1, so I think I'm going to try to make the most of this 2-hour break and really like break. And then hopefully I'll be back with a vengeance. Now it is just after 7. I have a little bit of wine. I was editing, but I'm about to switch to writing. Evening vibes, even though it is still very bright outside. What do you think, kitten? No thoughts? Just vibes? Can't even focus on you, you're vibing so hard. Oh, stretch. Now 7 is a little bit early to start my evening writing. Normally that's like 8 o'clock or so, but today it is somehow not quite as hot, so I'm actually hoping to get in an evening walk. When I have to do my walks in the middle of the day, I bring my umbrella or my parasol. It's one of those UV parasols and it's amazing. But I much prefer a walk where I don't have to do that, and so I literally just wait until darkness. But if I could get in a little bit earlier, then I could do it a little bit longer. So I'm hoping to get some words in a closet full of cauldrons. Let's go ahead and open that. Dandy Scrivener. The one thing I really need is just a little bit more wine. It's spellbound, so it is perfect for this project. $661 words, and I passed the 19,000 word mark. Woo! Woo! Looking good, looking good. It is about just after 8. We're getting a little bit darker now, and I think it is time for my walk. Now this video has taken me over the course of basically 2 weeks of summer, and I would say about 60% of the time I work in the evening. Sometimes for, 30 minutes, sometimes for an hour and a half. It's sort of hit or miss, but I find that my creativity kind of like rears up again, which is really nice. And other than making sure I am taking breaks when I really do need them, I also like to lean into just letting myself write when I want to write. And in celebration of that, I also think I deserve a cupcake. Now the final bit of my summer routine, and the hardest habit to regularly do so far, is reading at night and not looking at my phone. But I will say it's made easier by an adorable little cat. Not the best bookmark, but a great cat. It is now Wednesday, July 5th, and I will say it took the full 2 weeks, but I do feel like I'm finally in that routine that I'd hoped for myself. It does help a little bit that I have my longer form experiment going on, where an aspect of that is doing certain things at certain times of the day, so I have to have everything sorted before then. It feels really good so far. I think this was the sort of summer jumpstart that I needed, and I will admit that it helps that we've actually dipped down a little bit in temperature again. It's like, only highs of 96 now instead of like 109. So it will eventually get back there, but by the time it does, I'll be ready. Please do comment down below. Let me know what your summer writing routine looks like. Let me know if there's any aspects of that routine or like a sort of habit that you're trying to integrate into your routine that you're finding harder than the others. Saying goodbye to my phone, even though I know it's like good sleep hygiene, has been really tough. While I said that I've like basically gotten to the point, I meant on everything else but that. That I'm like 25% of the time. And the worst part is, I notice a difference when I don't look at my phone at night. One day. By the end of summer. But that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you especially to some of my new patrons this month. Ashley Nicole, Matthias Grosser, Sam Wright Stuff, Claire Belshaw, Angela Danielle Elvis, Mix, Abby Laughlin, Jazz Marble, Ray Unraveled, This One Cassie, Jennifer Jennings, Lynn, and Sylvia Letizia, and I will see you all very soon with a new video. Bye!